tradition. Most times when we say high priest, people often think of, it's an Old Testament theory. Yes, but it's not just an ancient tradition, but a presently inhabited position. So the ministry of an high priest is not an ancient tradition, but a presently inhabited. When we say inhabited, what do we mean? It's still existing. Inhabited. Like for example, all of us are inhabiting this purpose. So inhabited, this means it's still existing, meaning we are part of it, we are in it. Are you with me? Occupied, that's the correct word. Occupied. So the ministry of the high priest is not an ancient tradition, but a presently occupied position, inhabited position. Just as it was in the days of the law and the tabernacle, that we sinful humanity need representation before God. So just as in Old Testament, that the people needed an high priest that will represent them before God, so also we too, under the new covenant, we also need an high priest. Are you with me? We still, to this day, cannot come to God on our own. When man sinned in the garden, man was cast out from God's presence. So man lost that privilege when God would come down and punish man. Man lost that fellowship, man lost that privilege.
That awakens the nations to love.
Man needed a representation.
I want to usher men into his presence.
Him before
the
God.
strings of
That's
his
the
voice
idea of an high
and
priest.
feel his melodies within.
What I'm saying, up to today, no man can come before God on his own. We still to this day cannot come to God on our own. So think God will and God accept us in our simple state is to flex in punishment.
For out of my belly,
what I'm saying is, up to today, no man can approach God on his own.
I'm a sound in the spirit. My sofa is alive.
Who can ascend the of the Lord? He that has what? A clean hand and a what? A pure heart. All of us seated here.
I am
We
Yahweh.
don't have a clean heart.
Reconcile
One way or the other,
creation
we don't something that is
back
not
to
true
him.
of us.
I am the
Or we
joy
are
of
something
heaven.
true of us.
The
One way or the
happiness
other,
abiding
we have
in
some things in our hearts.
Oh,
True of us.
mortal. God, your
And the Bible
Lord,
says in Isaiah,
make inquiries of the God of heaven. He has
All
deployed
of
his
us
strength,
have
and
become
you are
like
his
one
arsenal
who is
for
unclean.
execution.
all of us.
These are the days
And
of
all our
battle,
righteous
and
acts
your
are like
hands must be made
filthy
strong.
rags.
You
We
must
all
teach your hands to war,
shrivel
and your
up
heart
like
to
a
trust in
leaf,
him.
and like the
Let
wind
go
our
of the
sins
vanity of the
sweep
flesh.
away.
So none of us can stand before God on our own and lay the foundation.
And be
So this is why we need
drowned
what?
And
Oh,
I
soldier of God, your God is a warrior,
None of us can
and you are
come
his
before
battle
God.
axe.
Are you with me?
Rely on his
We
mercy, for there is a kingdom to establish.
So
There are territories
when we
to
say
conquer.
life, this is not just a
Stand your
ancient
ground.
tradition.
Stand firm in this army where you belong. That after the end of these drillings and prunings, you will shout
So
to the
no man
Lord,
can come
I
before
am
God on
Yahweh's
his own.
song,
Why?
filled with choruses of his law,
Why?
melodies of
Because
affection
of
and
what?
desire.
Sin. We all are
His delight.
on being
And
we are
all
sinners.
nations,
So we need
all
someone
nations
to represent us.
shall dance to it.
So that's the concept, the idea about high priest. Or a high priest is a mediator, intercessor between God and his people. Let's see Hebrews 5, verse 1 to 4. Let's lay the foundation. And then we'll look at high priest in the Old Testament. Look at Jesus as a high priest. We are looking at the topic, Jesus Christ, our everlasting high priest. I want you to get something, and I believe this message will bless you. Yeah. Hebrews 5, verse 1 to 4.
That's one. Every high priest is selected from among the people.
So every high priest is what? Selected from what? Among.
And is appointed to represent the people
is what?
They are coming from
So,
the north.
how is an high priest selected?
They are coming from the south.
Eh?
They are the one.
We need to get
Yahweh is the light.
I'm really taking it. That's so it's time. So she must lost focus. We need to be. We need to have a very
Every high priest is selected from among the people.
Every high priest is selected for what? Among the people.
And is appointed to represent the people.
When he's selected, what is his appointment? So represent the people now.
In matters related to God.
It matters what? So an high priest is selected among them. It matters what? Related to God. To represent who? The people. Continue.
To offer gifts
To offer what? Gift.
and
And sacrifices for sin.
Not professional, but
So the main work of an high priest, I want you to think, is to offer gift and sacrifices for what? For sin. For what? For sin. So the work of an high priest, one way or the other, has to do with a particular thing. What? Sin. Sin. Sin.
He is able to deal gently with those who are ignorant and are going astray, since he himself is subject to weakness. This is why he has to offer sacrifices for his own sins.
So take note, an high priest in the Old Testament will offer what? Sacrifice for what? His own sin.
As well as for the sins of the people.
As well as for what? The sins. So the work of an high priest has to do with a particular issue. What's the issue? Sin. Now, if we must understand this topic, our focus will be on two things: the high priest and the sacrificial system.
my God and my Father.
If you must understand the ministry of an high priest, you must first understand the works of an high priest, the characteristics of an high priest, and then the system in which an high priest performs his duty. But we've learned something, that one of the major work of an high priest is to deal with what? Sin. And in dealing with sin, you must first what? Offer sacrifices for his own sin and for what? The sin of the people. So he's going to represent the people before God. But he will not come to God like that. Are you with me? He will not come to God like that, two of us. He must first offer what? Sacrifices for what? For his own sin. Okay? Good students, clap for yourself. So let's look at
Now, if you can blast in other tongues, just go ahead and begin
the
to speak in
ministry of
other
an high
tongues.
priest in the Old
Set
Testament.
a fire.
I want you to look at some things.
A generation is coming.
I'm laying the foundation for you to see. And one of the
With
things you
boldness.
realize that is the
I can see that you are
high
hungry.
priest supposed to
Something is about to shake this nation.
and you realize
Something is
that
about
high
to
priest
shake the world.
represents
Men are coming. Men are coming.
his people.
Yeah,
Is appointed,
see what God
selected
is
to
doing.
work among the
See
people.
what God is doing.
Appointed to
With
represent
men that will
to
rise.
offer
Men
sacrifices
that are not
so that
They don't look like
sin
this.
will be forgiven and the sin of God. Now the high priest was in charge of ministry in the Old Testament. The high priest was in charge of ministry in the Old Testament sacrificial system, where the high priest was to represent the people before God as the high priest, minister before God. He would do so by offering up sacrifices for atonement of sin. Let's see Leviticus chapter 16, verse 1 to 34.
The Lord said to Moses, "Tell your brother Aaron that he is not to come whenever he chooses into the most holy place behind the curtain."
So, one of the things you must know as an high priest, you don't just come to God whenever you please. You don't come to the holies of holies whenever you want. Please take note of it. We are going to see something. You don't just come, or else you will die. Tell him that you don't just come to my presence anyhow. I have to summon you.
These are sacred garments, so he must bathe himself with water before he puts them on.
So you see, I'm not telling you they got for money, you know, that's what they call on Jesus. In those days, you don't do like that. Are you with me? You don't do, you are seeing the thing, the ceremony. You must put on this, you must bathe. You don't just appear. Now, I read some Jewish book. They said if you are writing Jehovah, writing the name of God, you should wash before writing J. You should go and wash again before you.
Aaron is to offer the bull for his own sin offering, to make atonement for himself and
to make atonement for what?
Himself.
So if you never forget to say I'm late. I'm late. He said I'm late, I'm the one. And then you just enter like that, what will happen to you? He will die.
Aaron shall bring the goat whose lot falls to the Lord and sacrifice it for a sin offering. But the goat chosen by Lot as
so you are taking those, it's all about what? Sin. Now let me create a picture in your mind that from onset, God against sin. The problem between man and God has always been sin.
I'm looking for the
Aaron shall bring the bull for his own sin offering to make atonement for himself and his household. And he shall slaughter the bull for his own sin offering.
Yeah, I said not
the strings of Abba.
Yeah, I still say don't forget to offer what? Sacrifice for what?
That energizes
Yourself and your household. That is the thing that in preschool. In preschool, don't just focus on the people.
So desert
focus on
shall
yourself
suffer my
first
voice,
and your family.
and then good shall come alive
You have to know
with reviving waters. For out of my belly flows Yahweh's fountain.
Come with faith.
I am
You
Yahweh's
don't just see the
hand.
word.
I'm
Let
a
it
sound
come
in
from
the
you.
spirit.
Let God know how helpless you are.
With
Let
prophetic
God know
praise
that
that causes dead
you believe
bones
in.
in the valley of death to dance.